Expedia and Visit Scotland invite you to come step into centuries of history that await in Scotland. Castles steeped in legend walk along cobblestone streets. Come share the warmth of stories passed down through generations. This is a place with a past that is fully present today and all yours to explore. Plan your Scottish escape today at expedia.com/Visit Scotland.
Morning decisions. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Hello and welcome back to Off the Record on the Tudors Dynasty and Beyond podcast. I'm Rebecca Larson.
And I'm Amy McElroy. Trying not to laugh.
Okay, so you guys know this last episode with Matt Lewis, there was like a giggle fit. And if you're a patron on Patreon, you saw the behind the scenes where there was like 3 minutes of us, or me laughing and him making goofy faces at me. And it just happened with me and Amy before we started the episode. I can't help it. It's just fun, isn't it? There's no problem being a little bit goofy.
No.
And guess what day
it makes it all fun.
Yeah. And I feel like you need this. So guess what day it is?
Sunday!
It's Sunday! I know Amy likes it when I sing it, so
yes, I do.
I think she said I make funny faces when I do it. So you guys be the judge. Do I make a funny face?
Not always. I think it's when you catch yourself off guard a bit. That's what it looks like from my side. It looks like you start singing and then you're like in your head, what am I doing? And then just carry on.
That does happen. There's a lot of internal dialogue happening with me throughout the day. Oh my gosh. Well, we're back again. It's Sunday. Amy graced me with her presence, and I'm very happy for that. And last week, we talked about, it was kind of a weird combination of things. Now that I go back and I see the list, I'm like, we talked about rain, but then we talked about everything else Viking. So they didn't quite go together, but we talked about rain, the Last Kingdom, Vikings, and Vikings Valhalla. And I know we got some comments. So what were people saying?
So Douglas said, Amy is right. Thank you, Douglas. Vikings is awesome. Charlotte said, Last Kingdom, brilliant. And yes, he is good. We know who she's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Douglas also did say you're not going to like this. With My Lady Jane, I have to agree with Amy. I just couldn't do it. Sorry, Rebecca.
Well, it's not for everyone. I admit that. And we've all established I'm rather goofy and I like weird things. So that's why I like My Lady Jane.
Laurie says, thanks for the suggestions of Last Kingdom and Vikings. She's put them on their list and she's going to be binge watching them like you, which I'm going to ask you about next.
I was afraid.
Laurie will have to let us know what she thinks. Caroline confirmed the ending of Reign for us. It does end with Mary's execution, and a lot of the last season takes place in Scotland. So, yeah, I don't remember any of that. Charlotte said her entry into the Tudor story was Anne of 1,000 Days. Good choice.
Yeah. Classic.
Leslie watched the Gunpowder after we spoke about it, and said it was really good. And then Myra says Rain's music was good. She feels like they did the whole medievalist modern music before Bridgerton. So
yeah, that was a good point.
And then she referenced Medici, and then the Tudors is the godfather of all 21st centuries. And then she gave us some other recommendations. So
yeah, I forgot we talked about Medici too.
I've started rewatching it on Saturday
Did
or
you?
Sunday. Yes, and
And
realised why I like it so much.
you watch that instead of more of My Lady Jane? You just gave yourself up. I'm just gonna
Well,
put
it
that.
was either My Lady Jane or Richard Madden. It's
Okay.
not really,
Yeah, that's
you
fair.
know. So, yeah. Plus, I've already seen it, so I don't have to actually sit and properly watch.
I do like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got my deadline, so I don't really watch a lot at the moment. I tend to put things on that I have seen before, so I'm not distracted. It's just background noise.
Yeah. Good
But
plan.
I do like the music. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And then we had our question for last week, which was Game of Thrones favorite episodes.
Yes.
But we only actually had one person, I think, or that I've seen, sorry, I should say that I've seen. I don't see all comments.
Yeah.
Um, from Kerry, who said that the Battle of the Bastards was her favorite episode.
I think that's somebody else's favorite episode.
Who knows? And then she did point out that some of the scenes were filmed in Northern Ireland. So, and she actually posted a picture on Facebook of the ruins and then what it looks like in Game of Thrones, which was pretty cool.
Oh, I missed that comment. I'm gonna have to go look at that now.
It's when Rob Stark is told that his dad's dead. So,
Oh,
yeah, when he's at camp.
wow.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
And
But now the question is for you. Have you watched the Vikings?
yes. I know. Are you surprised? Okay, so what did I watch it? Oh, it's on Netflix here. And so I went into my Netflix account, I typed in Vikings, it popped up, I just hit play. Apparently, it was still left off from where I was last time, and I
Oh,
didn't
okay.
realize it. So it was like the final episode of season 1 that I started watching. So I watched that and I was like, it's not so bad. And then I realized it popped up on the bottom and it was like, season 2 next or something. And I went, oh, shoot. So then I went back to the beginning and started watching again. And I think I've gotten like 4 episodes in, but you're not going to like it because I still like Last Kingdom better.
That's fair. Keep watching.
Okay, I will do that. I will. I'm always looking for something to watch and something new. So I'll keep going with it.
Have you watched Medici?
No.
So you got that to watch as well.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff to watch. A lot of historical stuff. Sometimes I need to change that up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was thinking too about the Game of Thrones and favorite episode, but we can get to that
Yes.
when we talk. Because today we wanted to talk about like House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones, and we were going to throw in Night of the Seven Kingdoms, but it's only had one season, and I feel like there's not enough to talk about yet. So,
I obviously haven't watched it yet. It is on my list. I do want to watch it. It is one that I do want to watch. I just haven't done it yet.
yeah, I like the kid that plays
Egg.
Egg. Oh my gosh. And I follow him on social media too, and he's just so adorable and such a character. Like, yeah, I'm looking forward to more seasons of him. But it's always hard too when they start out as kids, right?
Yeah.
And then they grow up because, it's
Does
just
does the, does it follow the book?
I haven't read the book, so I
Oh,
couldn't
okay.
tell
See,
you.
I read the book, but I just haven't watched the
Yeah,
movie.
you'll have to watch and then we can talk about whether it does or not. But I
Yeah.
do want to talk about House of the Dragon
Yes.
because I think I've made it very clear that between House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones, I am obsessed with House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Honestly. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I made some notes because I feel like I had so much I wanted to say. And I'm like, I need to have a plan. I can't just start rambling
That's
about.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I love the series. I think that the way that it's filmed, the actors, the dress, the dragons.
So this is before Game of Thrones, yeah.
Yes. So this is like back in the world when dragons are everywhere. No, I mean, there's several dragons, but compared to Game of Thrones, where there
And
was,
bigger.
yes. And I love dragons, so I just feel like that gets me. But there's has only been two seasons. Season three is coming out in June, and I cannot wait because it's just going to be a massacre. I know it seems weird that I'm excited for it, but I realized last night I was watching, I think it was season two, episode four, and that is, and you haven't seen season two, have you?
No.
Okay, I want to say spoiler alert, but this has all been out for a while, so I'm not really spoiling anything because people have had time to watch. But it's the episode where there's like the big battle, and the dragons come out and they start fighting, and Rhaenys and her dragon die, and King Aegon is injured, and his dragon dies. It's like this big dragon battle, and I just that
Oh God,
episode.
whose side are we meant to be on?
Yeah, it is hard on that one, but.
But whose side are we on?
Like, who are we rooting for?
Yeah.
I am rooting for Rhaenyra. She was the heir, right? So this is one of the things that I want to kind of talk about too, because I feel like just like Game of Thrones, where we've talked about whether or not it emulates history or things from history, House of the Dragon, I definitely see some of that too. Um, we have first I want to talk about names before I go into the similarities because I don't want to confuse people. They're, learning the names for House of the Dragon can be very difficult because there's so many that are similar. Game of Thrones has a lot of weird names, but they're not as similar
Yeah.
as like Rhaenyra, Rhaenys, Rhaena. Those are three different people.
Yeah.
And trying to keep track of that, I was like thinking like, who else do we have? And then we have Bela and like Lena, Lenore. It gets very difficult. I think I had to watch like episode one several times before I finally picked up on all the names and figured out who was who. But uh, it's not only the names of the characters, but the names of the dragons are like absolutely impossible to remember too. And I was like, off the top of my head, I thought, can I remember the names? I'm like, nope. I had to go online and look them up because there are so many dragons too, and I didn't even put them all down because there's the biggest one, Vagar, which is like the biggest and the meanest dragon, right? And then
Hmm.
there's Syrax, which is Rhaenys's, and Vagar was Laena's but became Aemon's. And then there's Syrax, which was Rhaenys's, or yeah, Rhaenyra's, and then there was Caraxes, which was your favorite, Daemon's, and Sunfire, which was Aegon's. And then as
That's
we
a
go,
nice name.
Sunfire,
Yeah.
yeah, that is a pretty name. Then there's Vermithor, which was Hugh of the Hammers, and that you'll get to in season two. Silverwing, which is Ulf's. Meleys, which I loved Meleys, which was Rhaenys's. And Meleys is like the only dragon left, I think, other than Vagar, which had fought in battles previously, because these dragons like live forever, right?
Okay.
Until they kill each other, essentially. Moon Dancer, which was Bela's. Sea Smoke, Adam of Hull's. Dreamfire, which is Helena's. And like, it's so weird to me because we never see Helena on a dragon. We just know that she has a dragon because she's like the sweetest thing ever, right? And then we have Vermax, which is Jace's, and Arax, I think is the pronunciation, which was Luke's. And that's all I put down for now because there are so many. But between all the names and all the dragon names, it can be very difficult to remember
Yeah.
who's who in this. But I think I kind of like it that they have different names, that they don't have normal Anglo names, maybe.
I think if they'd have used similar names to Game of Thrones, it'd probably be off a little because it's meant to be like before, and obviously names do change.
Yes,
Like we know that they've always changed usually not so much now, but according to the monarch. So
true. Yeah.
look at all in the Tudor period, all the Henrys, Edwards, Elizabeths, Marys, and then before them, Edwards. It's all, it's all linked to the
Mhm.
monarch, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. I mean,
So I would assume that they've done something kind of similar with based around the Targaryens.
yeah. Yeah, that's another thing that is sometimes it's hard to keep track of all the house names. Game of Thrones, it's really obvious. House of the Dragon, I feel like it's the Targaryens and it's the why can't I think the Old Town people? Hightowers.
Mm.
Like those are the two big families I feel like in House of the Dragon, whereas Game of Thrones, you have the Starks and you have the
Yeah, there's
Lannisters
seven of
and
them.
yeah, I mean that's I think the biggest difference. But I do want to talk about similarities in history because I see like I definitely saw Viserys almost like, and he was the king at the beginning. He was
Okay.
almost like Henry the First to me. He all he had was a daughter. His wife gave birth to a son, but the son died. So you could kind of say it's kind of the same too as his son dying in the White Ship, which
Mm.
left him only with Matilda. And in this case, it left Viserys with Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
So there's that similarity. But then, you also have other characters who kind of come in. Damon, you could almost say is like a Stephen, but you could also say that Rhaenyra's half brother Aegon was like Stephen too, because really at the end, I think he really is the Stephen of this because he fights for the throne and he becomes king, and she's battling to try and get it back.
Yeah.
So I see that. But other than that, I feel like, oh, Rhaenys. Rhaenys to me is also a Matilda figure because they call her the queen that never was.
Ah, okay.
So I feel like there's two characters from House of the Dragon that kind of are similar to
Yeah.
Matilda. But that to me is like the biggest historical similarities. I don't know. I know you've watched season one, but do you see any other ones that I'm missing?
Not that I can remember. From obviously I've only seen season one, but I think Game of Thrones has got more historical links.
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously, I don't know what was in his mind when he was writing those books, but it's easy to say, I wonder if he was thinking of X, Y, Z, which I know we're going to talk about, so I won't say it
Yeah.
now. But um, with House of the Dragon, I don't know. And you'd assume that he would, because obviously, if he was thinking of history when he was writing them, then it's logical that he'd do it again.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
I just love it. Though something else that I noticed for a little a little similarity to the Habsburgs.
You
So
think?
we know the Habsburgs loved a good bit of inbreeding.
Hmm.
Uh, like I was thinking about when we look at House of the Dragon, you have a brother marrying a sister, which still weirds me out a little.
Maybe the white hair is the meant to be the Habsburg jewel.
Oh, interesting. I never thought of it that way. Okay.
Neither did I until you mentioned Habsburgs.
Yeah. But you have Aegon ends up marrying his sister Helena, which right before he marries her, Rhaenyra offers up her son Jace to marry Helena to kind of like stop the feuding. So there you can kind of see a little Henry VII and Elizabeth of York a little bit,
Mm.
but it doesn't happen because they just can't be nice to each other and there's just constant fighting. And then, of course, you have an uncle marrying a niece, which is very Habsburgian. Is that a
Yeah.
word? When Damon marries Rhaenyra, I feel like we see it coming from the beginning of the show. These two, I hate to say it, that they have a lot of chemistry because they're
Yes.
uncle and niece, but they do. And you can tell they are kind of kindred spirits. But Rhaenyra knows her place. She knows she's her father's heir. And Daemon is kind of jealous. He's jealous because he was the heir for so long before Viserys named
Mm.
Rhaenyra as heir. If you only knew how much brain power it's taking right now to keep these names straight. Oh my God. I love this show, and it's probably primarily because of the dragons, but I like the actors. I kind of just like the scenes, how everything looks. I just think it's
I
so
think we
different.
need to get Matt on to help us with more links
Yeah, I'm
because
sure
that's his
domain.
area, isn't it? So
Yeah,
he'll probably recognize things straight away. If he's seen it, I don't know if he's seen it.
I think he
Things that
has.
we're not picking up on.
Yeah, I feel like when I talk to him about these medieval kings that we're going through, excuse me, on this series, I'll bring up things every once in a while saying there's similarities, or he'll bring it up too. So I'm pretty sure he's watched all of them as well.
Oh, there we go. He can tell us then.
Yeah. Where are we going wrong on this? Um, let's see. Oh, the other similarity, I just realized, see, this is why I took notes. The fact I see some similarities with Edward II, and this was just because I had recently done an episode with Matt Lewis on Edward II on him possibly not really being dead, and that a body
Ah,
that
okay.
a body was put in his place. And I thought, oh, that's very similar to Rhaenyra's first husband, Laenor, and his death. That must have been in season two. Was that in season two, or did you see that in season one?
I
Or
didn't see that, so it
okay,
must be season two.
yeah. So basically, I don't even
Or at
remember.
least I don't remember it.
Okay, well, you'd remember it, I think, because it was like one of those scenes where you're like, what is happening? So like there's just this whole plan where Damon and Rhaenyra want to get married, and Laenor is homosexual, and he tried to do his part to make her pregnant, and he couldn't do it. And then Rhaenyra obviously had a lover. I'm forgetting his name
See, I
now.
think I remember
Strong.
that, but I don't remember. Hang on. Does he get killed in the hall?
Yes.
Yes, I have
Yeah.
seen.
And then you basically find out it was all staged. The whole thing was staged. They had all just planned this out so that he didn't really have to die, but it was a way for him to live, for Rhaenyra and Daemon to be able to get married, and for Laenor to be able to ride off in the sunset with his lover. And
Okay.
so, yeah, they basically there's this sword fight in the hall, and then you cut to Corlys and Rhaenys coming in and finding their son, or a body half burnt in the fireplace, and it's wearing his clothes, and they just assume that it's him. And then it like cuts to a scene of Laenor with a shaved head, so you don't know he's got white hair, going out to a boat to leave. And so you go, oh. And then I'm like, when's he coming back? Because he's going to come back at some point, right? I haven't read the books. I have no idea. Do you know?
Mm.
Do you know the answer?
No.
Oh, okay. But I don't know. I just like it. There's just so many weird storylines, but it keeps me entertained and on the edge of my
Yeah.
seat. And I've watched season one and two at minimum 10 times each.
And I think, it's one of those things that even if you don't like history, it's entertaining.
Yes.
It's just because we do like history that it makes us think, ooh,
Yeah. Ooh, good. Something more to watch for us.
yeah.
And it's got dragons. Sometimes I think like if I could have one of the dragons, which dragon would I want? And I don't want to say Vagar because I feel like Vagar was just big and mean, but I probably would have wanted Melee's, Rhaenys's dragon that died. Like, I don't know, it just seemed like a good
Yeah, I
dragon.
don't think I'd want a big mean one.
No, it's just giant. Like when I was watching that season two, episode four last night, where there's the battle scene, and you have Rhaenys and you have King Aegon up there fighting, And then off in the distance in the woods, you see the trees moving, and all of a sudden everybody's heads turn to the trees, and you see this big wing come up, and they're like, oh shit. And then, Vagar comes up with this giant wingspan. Like, I can't even imagine if that were real, what it would feel like when it flapped its wings over you. Like, you would fall over.
Yeah.
But they don't, that doesn't happen in the movies and TV series. It's like,
Of
it's
course
nothing.
not. You can't have them all falling over every time a dragon flaps its wings.
Yeah, exactly. People be on the ground all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would be so cool. I say this all the time. It'd be so cool to have a dragon, have a saddle up on your dragon, a fancy saddle. And I don't even like the other thing I don't get about this whole dragon rider thing is like in the show, Rhaenys is riding Meleys, right? And then she says Meleys attack in Valerian. And she doesn't yell it. She's like 20 feet from this dragon's head. And she's like, attack, Meleys. I'm like, he can't hear you or she can't hear. How do they know?
Because it's a dragon.
You need like a horn or something that you're like, all right, I'm ready to go.
Oh, so everyone else can hear you as well.
Right? You think there might be like a little tapping communication? You could just tap on the dragon's back 3 times.
Maybe it's mind.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that could be. That could be. But these are the things I question when watching these shows about fictional dragons. It is interesting.
Maybe someone else understands dragon lore more than us. Can someone help us, please?
I know. And then, and then I think I've mentioned before the book that I've been reading for fun, which is going to take me forever to finish reading, is The Fourth Wing, which is also about dragons and dragon riders. And that's all like they're speaking like the telecommunication, basically. The dragon infiltrates their brains and can talk to them and they can talk back just thinking. And yeah, so maybe that's the same.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why, in season 2 of House of the Dragon, when Rhaenyra is trying to get more dragon riders of Targaryen blood and they bring in all of these bastard kids from the city, like Hugh the Hammer. This is why they're like, just be calm. Like they're going to pick up on it if you're scared. And I don't know, maybe I know. I've just spoiled all of season 2 for you, haven't I?
That's okay.
I didn't really like that part of season 2 anyway, but it's part of the story lore, so I can't change that.
I'll cope, I'm sure.
So June, I'm very excited. June is close, so I cannot wait. I think they put out all the episodes at once. I don't remember. They better, because I'll be binging it in one day.
If they don't, are you going to wait till the end?
No.
So available, or are you going to watch it
I'll watch
as
it
it comes out?
I'll watch it as it comes out, and then when I'm done, I'll rewatch it. Oh, so that's what I do, and then I'll rewatch it again, and then maybe again, depending on how. And then I'll start all the way over from season 1 and watch all the way through. Am I the only one?
I used to do it with Game of Thrones. So
Okay.
every time there was a new season, I would watch the previous ones beforehand. So obviously every year, the time I had to start watching, I'd get earlier and earlier and earlier. But yeah, I used to do that every year.
Okay, at least I'm not alone there. But I'm so excited about this new season because I know there's going to be tons of dragon battles. I'm not excited because I'm pretty sure Daemon dies this season, so I'm not excited about that because he is like one of those characters that you love to hate. But in season 2, I like toward the end, he kind of redeems himself with Rhaenyra anyway, where you're like, okay, he's not going to fight against her. He's going to join forces with her. And then you're like, good. But then he has the vision in the last episode of season 2 where he sees, why can't I think of her name? Dany in the future. He can see her back sitting like in the desert and she's naked like she had just come out of the pyre. And then the dragons climb up and he sees it. And so he realizes that his place in history is not what he thought it was going to be, and that there's somebody who's really the story of Song and Ice that he was never told.
Experience a membership that backs what you're building with American Express Business Platinum. Get 2 times membership rewards points per dollar on eligible purchases in key business categories, as well as on each eligible purchase of $5,000 or more, on up to $2 million in eligible purchases per calendar year. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You know those friends who support your preference for podcasts over music on road trips? That's the energy State Farm brings to insurance. With over 19,000 local agents, they help you find the coverage that fits your needs, so you can spend less time worrying about insurance and more time enjoying the ride. Download the State Farm app or go online at statefarm.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Huh.
So we'll leave that there because we need to get to Game of Thrones before we run out of time today, because it's like what, 8 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. There's a lot. And I actually don't think the first season is that good.
Oh,
Having said that, when I first watched the first season, I liked it. But I think when you compare it to the rest of them now, it's obviously good at setting the scene. So you do get to find out who's who, all the different families, that kind of thing. But I don't know, it's not that great when you compare it to the others afterwards, is it?
no, I agree. And I think that's part of the reason why it took me so long to get into Game of Thrones, because I think it was the first episode first took me forever to get by with Jaime and Cersei sleeping together. And I was
Yeah.
like, wait. They're brother and sister. But not only are they brother and sister, they're twins. Okay, that makes it even weirder.
Yeah.
So
But no, I think it is a good season at setting the scene for everything else. So you obviously learn about the Seven Kingdoms, you see all the different families within Westeros. So I think it's good at doing that, but a bit nah compared
yeah,
to the rest.
yeah. And once you get into it, though, then you're so invested in the characters and the
Yeah, and
storyline.
obviously stuff happens in the first season that if it wasn't there, you wouldn't have the other seasons.
Yeah, that's true. That is
So
true.
I think the stuff has to happen. It's just not the most exciting season.
I don't even know that I could say I have a favorite season or a favorite episode, because I feel like it's just, and I thought for a second, I was like, which episode did I really like the storyline or really like a lot of the scenes? And I felt like I'm going to be so controversial and say I loved the last episode. But I
See,
did.
I don't think that that's that controversial. My only criticism of the last episode was just lighten it a little bit.
Yeah, it was
Like
heavy.
it was too dark. Like having to sit with everything closed, no lights on, just so you could t watch what was actually happening on the TV, because otherwise you couldn't see it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was just so much fighting, like the battles. I can handle battle scenes, but like it was almost a whole episode of battles. And I thought, okay,
Yeah,
can we speed this up a little bit? Because I get it. They're fighting for their life, but do we need to watch an hour of them fighting for their
yeah.
life?
So I wouldn't say it's a bad. I know a lot of people did not like it.
Yeah.
I think it was a good episode. I just wish they'd have bloody lightened that up a bit because yeah,
Yeah, it
I think
was.
most. And I know I'm not the only person that said it because I was that person that sat there trying to change the brightness on my TV and everything, and it wasn't just me. So I don't know why they did that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was probably trying to get you into the scene yourself. Like, they're fighting at night and But
Yeah.
it was hard. But, you know, that's where you really got to see some dragon action happening. And so I liked that a lot. But I also liked seeing all these people come together finally after all of these
Yeah.
seasons and, you know, joining forces to fight against the Night King. And, you know, and then the way that it ended with the Night King being killed was just fantastic. I just watched it again recently. Why can't I think of what her name is? The girl who
Oh,
killed him.
yeah.
Arya. Yeah, yeah. When they show her, and I remember watching it when it came out, and they show her leaping at him, right? And she's got her knife, and he stops her hand, and then it's like slow motion where she releases the knife and then grabs it with the other hand and stabs him, and it was like, yeah.
I absolutely love her. But the one thing in her whole storyline that bugs me is the whole faceless man thing.
Yes.
Like he was brilliant at first. But to me, and I get that, she wouldn't have been able to do that with the Night King if all of that hadn't have happened, because she wouldn't be the assassin that she ended up being if it
True.
wasn't for him.
Yeah.
But when you look back at it, she went through everything that she went through. All that time, got blinded, got beat up, I don't know how many times, all to learn, yes, how to fight, but also how to change her face,
Hmm.
which she then used to kill the Freys.
Yes.
Well, what was the bloody point? You're a kick-ass assassin. You could have killed Walter Frey without your face. Like, and
Less
I just think,
dramatic.
why? Like, I don't know. I thought something was going to be done more with the face changing thing for her after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I think I've said before, I don't know if I've said on the show, but I know we've talked about it, how I was just annoyed. Like there was like one whole episode that was all about her fighting and all this. And I joked, I was like, I was tired of Anne Neville beating her up
Yeah.
because the actress who played Anne Neville in The White Queen
Hmm.
played the other faceless girl or whatever, who was
I think
just,
they could have just made more out of her ability to change her face.
yeah. Yeah, it was wasted. It was
Because it
really,
was like after the phrase, that was it.
yeah.
Like she could have gone in and killed Cersei,
Yes.
and then Jamie could have lived.
Yes. Oh. I know we've talked about this before, and I hate to skip ahead, but we're going to skip right ahead because I feel like that storyline with Jamie and Cersei, and clearly they're brother and sister, but they love each other in a way a brother and a sister shouldn't, and he is so loyal to her. And until was it season 7 or was it season 8 when he left and
7.
yeah. And then you start seeing like a different side of Jamie when he's not around her. And you're like,
I like
oh,
that side of him.
yeah. Yeah. And I know we had talked previously, like, what character did you hate at the beginning that you ended up, like, he ended up redeeming himself at the
He
end?
did. Yes.
I mean, and he still went back to her at the very end.
Yeah, he let himself down there. He should have just let her die.
Yeah. Yeah. But I also kind of like it tugged at my heartstrings a little bit when they see each other right at the end and she's emotional and she's pregnant with his child and they both know they're going to die. But he made it to her so that she wouldn't die alone, basically. Like they
Yeah,
try
she's
it. They
working
try.
on herself. I have
She,
zero sympathy for Cersei.
yeah, she was a wicked, wicked woman, wasn't she? The episode where she blew up that church thing. That one. I remember seeing that one and going, what the heck just happened? Like, she is a monster. And then because of it, her son, the king, jumps out a window and kills himself. So, was it worth it?
Exactly.
But that was a good episode. I did like that one.
Yeah, the amount of stuff that she caused. Like,
Yeah, who was worse, her or Joffrey?
I actually think she produced Joffrey, so, like, He learned from her, didn't he? Like, yes, he was vicious in ways that she wasn't and stuff, but I don't know. I'd say her.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, she was a bit upset when Tommen died, but you've just blew up like half of King's Landing
Yeah. 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 You killed his
with
wife.
wildfire. Not
Yes.
just a normal fire, wildfire.
Yeah. That scene too, and I forget Natalie Dormer's character's name.
Oh God,
But
what's
you
her
can
name?
tell that she is like she knows something's up because she keeps asking, "Where's the
Yeah,
queen?" And she's like, "Something is up," and she wants to get out of there, and she wants to get her dad and her brother out of there. She's like, "We gotta go," and nobody is listening. And then it's like too late at the last minute. They all start moving, but at that point, it's too late.
yeah.
And
And she seems a little bit upset that Tommen dies, but nothing compared to when Joffrey
no,
dies.
no. And you know what? When Joffrey died, before we found out, I kind of thought maybe she did it.
Oh, do you know what? His death was epic.
He got what he deserved, didn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was one of those where you're like, you die, you little,
Yes. Yeah.
you little demon man. Because he
When you
was,
can see the panic on his face and hers, it's like that is what you deserve. Well, no
yeah,
one really deserves that, but you know what I mean.
in a fictional
In
world,
a
that,
fictional world, he definitely deserved that. Yes.
yeah, it was good. I think
Yeah.
at that point, everyone was like, oh, thank goodness he's gone. Now what's next? And it just got worse after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Bye bye, Joffrey. Hello, Ramsay Bolton.
Oh my gosh, Ramsay Bolton. That guy was a psychopath.
I think the best the one that always makes me laugh is when he's got the sausage and he just goes, I don't know what it is, but that it's just his face when he does that. It's
Yeah,
comedy gold,
yeah.
but I can't stand him. He gets what he deserves as well.
Yeah, he is another one. You just Sansa just pays him back for everything, and that is one of those. You want to say like girl power? Yeah, she girl power. She got it. He deserved it. He
Yes.
definitely deserved what he got. And of course, at the end, he didn't think his dogs were gonna do anything to him. But she's like, "You haven't fed them in 7 days. They're
Yeah.
hungry. What do you think? Do you think they're gonna listen to you?"
Yeah. He'd probably starve them, hoping he'd feed John to them.
Yeah, probably.
That
Yeah, so we
backfired.
haven't even talked about Jon Snow. We haven't talked about why can I never remember her name? I just always want to call her Dany.
Daenerys.
Daenerys, thank you. Yeah, that storyline too. I just like following her through her story. It's fascinating to me how much she changes over time. And then you feel like near the end, she is a true Targaryen who
Yes.
almost loses her mind. I mean, she is so mad that she just
Yeah.
loses her mind and basically burns down King's Landing.
Yeah. And I think it's that point that John realizes, doesn't he, that
Yeah.
that's it. Like there's no turning back.
I
Like
feel like it was when he talked to Tyrion, when Tyrion was locked up and Tyrion, right? These names I'm trying.
yeah,
Um,
it's Tyrion. Yeah.
okay. And Tyrion is basically telling him, like, this is bad. Like, you
Yeah.
don't want this person in charge. You would be a better king. Because at this point, everybody has found out that he is really Aegon Targaryen.
And she's
He,
not done either. Do you know what I mean? It's not as if she's like, oh, we've sorted King's Landing, that's it, I'm the queen. It's hmm, seven kingdoms.
we have to break the wheel.
Yeah.
It's always about breaking the wheel.
By burning everyone and everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Not breaking the wheel, burning the wheel.
So I do feel bad for her because I loved her character, but I think he did the right thing.
Yeah, I think so
And I
too.
think it worked out for him that he got to go back beyond the wall.
Hmm. Yeah, because what they had to do that with him. If he couldn't be the new ruler of the Seven Kingdoms, then he had to go away.
Yeah.
At least they
Which he
didn't
wanted
execute.
anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I do
That's
like
all he
Jon Snow.
wanted, wasn't he? He didn't want to be king, so
Yeah. But imagine finding out your whole life you thought you were this bastard son of Ned Stark. And Ned's about to tell him too before he's executed. He's like, when I come back, we'll talk about your mother, I think is what he said.
yeah.
And then he never got the opportunity. And then he doesn't find out until, was it when Bran came back? And then
Yeah.
Bran told him. Yeah, like that storyline and how they went back in time and showed us what had happened. I thought, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Do you know
don't
what
know.
I'd love to see? Follow-ups for them. Like, I don't think Brands will be very interesting. But Arya,
Yeah,
she went off on a boat. That'll
true.
be good. John went back beyond the wall
Yeah.
with Ghost. I would have been really pissed off if he didn't take Ghost.
Yes. Yeah. That was gonna be good.
And then Sansa's obviously Queen in the North, isn't she? So
Yeah. Yeah. Did you
wish they definitely do follow-ups for Arya and John.
yeah. I
Definitely.
honestly wasn't a huge Sansa fan. I don't know what it was about her character, but I never really liked her. And I think it's probably they made her seem like a spoiled young girl, right, with the whole Joffrey thing. And but then over
Yeah. I
time,
think
she,
as a youngster, no, I didn't like her.
yeah,
I was like, you're literally choosing Cersei and Joffrey over your own family.
yeah,
But I think where I did feel for her was the whole Ramsay thing. And then when she met back up with John, I was like,
yes,
yeah.
yeah. All those reunions with John were so good.
Yes.
I just feel like we haven't talked about Littlefinger at all, who's like the one character that you just despise pretty much
Him.
through it all.
Him.
That
Snake.
that
Absolute snake.
actor.
Although you've got to give him his due for helping Sansa in season 6.
Remind me. What
My
did
favorite episode.
what did he
Because
do?
if he didn't bring his men,
Oh, right. They wouldn't have
that would
won.
have had a completely different outcome.
That's true.
So we do have to give him tiny bit of credit for that, even though he obviously had his own reasons for doing so.
Littlefinger always had his own agenda. Everything, you know. And he loved
He
um
didn't do it to help John.
no, no. And all he wanted was to get back together with what's her name? Catelyn? Catelyn Stark? Caitlin?
Yeah, cat,
Cat,
cat's the
yeah.
one.
Yeah. And
Oh,
then it
that's another one. Why she differs to the books. That
really.
bugs me as well. Yeah.
Oh.
Have you not read the books?
Mm-mm. When do I have time to read all of these things? I'm constantly reading books for work.
Oh, she's like I personally would say she is the main thing that differs in the books.
Oh, you know what? I think maybe I have to see if I can get an audiobook. I've noticed that I can do audiobooks when I'm walking or driving, and so then I don't feel like,
Do you want me to tell you the biggest difference?
yeah, please.
Um, when she dies,
Yeah.
she gets brought back to life.
Really? Kind of like John. So she's
But
still,
vicious and
so she changed.
she's literally got her throat slit still and yeah. So basically she's the Walking Dead.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like there's so much to talk about. You have that red witch lady. I don't remember what her name is.
Melisandre?
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. I feel like I kind of liked her in a strange way, even though you're like, she seems like she
I
might be.
hated her for what she did to what was the little girl's name?
Hmm, little girl. I don't remember.
Yeah, Oh my God.
Tell me the scene. Paint it for me, and
When
maybe
she
I'll.
burns the little girl alive.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The king's daughter.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Stannis's daughter.
Yeah. Yeah, that was horrible.
I can't remember her
And
name.
it didn't even do what they had hoped it would do.
No. So I
Yeah.
hated her for that.
Yeah. But I loved it at the end. Of course, the last
Yes.
episode she was the heroine, and then you see
And
her.
obviously she brought John back, so gotta give her a due for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and she got pregnant with the demon
Demon.
shadow. That was so
Yeah.
weird. And then she gave birth to it in that cave or whatever. I was
Yeah.
like, what the heck is going on right now?
Yes.
Oh gosh, all of that. Yeah. One of the other characters that I really liked was Jorah. And
Yeah.
I just how I mean, he kind of just follows through the whole thing. He disappears for a little while, but he is, Danny's protector, and then he gets the what is it, the dragon scale or whatever it's called,
Yeah.
and you think, well, this is the end of him, and then he gets cured by Sam. Is it Sam?
Yeah.
I feel like I was just going to confuse it with the Hobbit.
I love
He,
Sam.
yeah, I like him too. And so he gets cured and then he goes back to helping Danny and like she's so happy to see him again even though she had banished him.
Yeah.
And he comes back and saves her life and dies. Like there's just so much of that. But I
Yeah.
do
His death was sad.
it was. And I feel like that last episode there was like so much of that where you're like, "Oh, people are going to die and who are we going to be left with?"
Yeah.
So much and people redeeming themselves and fighting together. Like I said, the people you would never expect to fight together were fighting together and had each other's backs because they knew, they had
Yeah.
seen. They were like, if we don't beat this, we're all dead anyway.
Yeah.
I just it's good. It's so fantasy, right? But it's definitely
It
based.
is, but it does make you think about history, like the Seven Kingdoms. Did he base it on like Anglo-Saxon England when you
Right.
had like Northumbria and Wessex and Mercia and all
Yeah.
of those? There was seven of them. So
True.
I don't know. I think he definitely was thinking of something. I know a lot of people will say Wars of the Roses. I can definitely see it, especially with the Starks and the Lannisters.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It makes me wonder if it was actually further back than that.
Yeah. I think it could be.
When you had like Wessex fighting Mercia and the Vikings coming in and
Yeah.
all of that kind of stuff. But I think it's good at showing um like how feudalism and stuff worked. Like
Yeah.
obviously each area had its lord, what that meant and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Game of
You did a
Thrones.
good job.
Oh, he really did. People are still talking about it. And look how many years it's been since the show's been over. Like,
The slowest writer in history, but
it was all worth it in the end.
yes.
Okay, so I have to ask you, did you have one favorite character from the show?
Yes.
I think we've talked about this off camera before, and I think our favorite character is the same. So, who is your favorite character?
I don't think it is.
Really? Do you want me to say mine first?
Yeah.
Okay, Tyrion is my favorite.
Yeah, mine's not.
Oh, well, who's your favorite then?
John?
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. No, I love Tyrion. I loved his
Oh, I
character.
do love Tyrion,
Yeah.
but I think I liked John all the way through. Whereas Tyrion, I was like, you're funny, but you're a bit of an idiot at the start.
Yeah, yes.
He had
I
his
just,
moments, didn't he, where I thought,
yeah.
although I did like him and, oh God, what was his name together?
Oh, the young guy. Yeah, I don't remember his name.
His protector,
Yeah.
his hired sword or whatever he was. Them two together is brilliant.
You know, that just reminded me of the episode where they get that guy some women, and then all they can hear afterward is about how amazing he is. And these are all like prostitutes or whatever who have slept with so many men, and they can't stop talking about what a great lover he is. And everybody's
Yeah,
like, "What did you do?"
yeah.
And that just kind of follows him through.
Oh God, what was his name?
There's way too many names in Game of Thrones to
Yeah.
remember. Way too
But no,
many.
I don't mean him. I mean the one that he pays to fight for him. That's who I mean.
Oh, the rough guy.
Yes.
Yes, I know.
Those two are just so funny together.
Yeah, they are funny together. Yeah, that's just such a great series. Okay, so now I know who your favorite character is. I want to know next who your favorite couple in the series is. And maybe I'll give you time to think and I'll tell you who my favorite couple is. And it's like couple, not couple, but my favorite couple is Jamie and Brienne of Tarth.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
But I think I would actually say Daenerys and what's his face.
Oh, Drogo,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one too. That's one of those where it doesn't start off so good, but then over time,
Yeah. And
it's
obviously he had to die for her to turn into what she did turn into, because
yeah,
otherwise she would have just lived a happy life.
yeah.
So,
I do
but
remember the pyre scene, right? When he dies and they're burning him and she walks into the fire and you're like,
yeah,
what is gonna happen? And then the eggs hatched out, you know, the next day we find out and we're like, oh
yeah,
my gosh, there are dragons. And that was the beginning of her
yeah.
legacy as Mother of the Dragons. The woman who had like 18 titles. Everywhere she went, they had to announce
Uh,
like 18 titles.
yeah.
A breaker of chains, Mother of Dragons, the Khaleesi. You know,
Oh,
like
that's
it.
another one. That's another death that's sad.
Um,
Her lady in waiting.
yeah, that's another one I think that starts with an M.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can't remember what her name
that was
is.
a sad one too. But you knew it was going to happen once you saw her up there with Cersei up on the battle wall or whatever you
Yeah,
call it. And you're like, no, this is not going to end well
yeah.
at all.
Miss Sunday.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. There's so many of those characters, aren't there, that in Game of Thrones where you're like, well, not all these people are going to make it to the end. So
that's true.
something's going to happen.
I
Yeah.
wish she'd have lived though, because then she could have sailed off with the her whatever he was
I know. I never.
at the end.
If you don't remember the names, I'm definitely not going to remember the names. I got House of the Dragon down. That's it. Yeah, so I guess that's all I had for questions for you about favorites. I don't know. Did you think of anything that you wanted to ask me?
Well, you were meant to have a favorite episode and you haven't got one.
I said maybe the last one. Other than that, I can't even think of like a favorite
So I think
episode.
what we need is for people to tell us what theirs is and why,
Yeah.
and also their favorite couple as well.
Yes. I feel like there's so many, or couples who could have been. Because
Yeah.
you also,
Or even like yours, not actually a couple, but work very, very well together, because that is a good one.
yeah.
That is a good
You could
choice.
almost say like Sansa and Tyrion as a couple.
Yeah.
You know, did you like that?
I thought it was at first I was like, what? But he did look after her.
He did.
He did protect her.
I did think it was kind of weird. What was his name? Was it Theon Greyjoy
Yeah.
who died at the end? I felt like it was, I don't know. I know Sansa and Theon experienced a lot of stuff with Bolton together and they escaped and all of that stuff. But like at the end, I felt like she was so emotional about his death, like they were lovers, but they never were at any point. So I don't know. There was just
I think she realized that he loved her
hmm,
and that he was sorry for everything that he'd done. Because
yeah,
obviously, if he hadn't have done whatever he did, Rob would still be alive, possibly.
true. Yeah, that's one of those characters too. The ones you love to
Another
hate.
redeemer, but
Yeah.
doesn't change the fact that her brother died and whatever else.
I think we've established that Cersei was the devil. Nobody
Yes,
liked her.
absolutely.
She was the worst character of all.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um,
Oh, maybe we could ask if you could save one person, who would it
ooh,
be and why?
that's now, do you have somebody in mind asking that question?
No, I've just got names going through my head now.
I
So
know.
maybe we answer that as well.
Yeah, who would it be? Ned Stark? I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'll have to think about that. We'll have to come back on the next episode
Yeah.
and figure out who that would be. Well, you know what? I feel like I was so worried I was going to talk about House of the Dragon the entire time, but I think we balanced it pretty good today.
Yeah. And
Although,
then we'll do the other one further down the line when there's more.
yes, yes, we definitely need more episodes of that one. That one's kind of too, that one's a slow moving season, but when you get to like the last two episodes, that's when it's so good. It's so
Okay.
good. And it kind of just shows you so Night of the Seven Kingdoms comes after House of the Dragon and before Game of Thrones. And so I've even gone so far as to watch House of the Dragon, then watch Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and then watch Game of Thrones. This really does sound like all I do is watch TV, doesn't it?
Yeah. You need to finish the Vikings.
But why? I'm like you too, though. Sometimes at night I want to do work on the computer.
Mm.
I'll do editing or I'll do some writing or something. So I turn on something familiar so that I don't
Yeah.
really have to watch, but can kind of pay
I can't
close.
work in silence, but if I put something on that I haven't seen before, I'll
Yeah.
probably end up watching it.
Yeah. See, I'm weird about that. During the day, I work from home. During the day, I don't turn on the TV. Sometimes I'll have music playing, but most of the time I just want to focus on the work that I'm doing. But in the evening, once it hits like 5 o'clock, that's like a shift in me where I like do this shift and I'm like listening to audiobooks or listening to music or,
Mhm.
I try to wait as long as I can before I turn the TV on because I know once the TV's on, I'm done. Like, well, I'm just make myself comfortable in this chair for the night. Got my blanket, got my laptop. We're good to go.
There you go.
I'm just living the dream, you guys. I am living the dream over here. I always joke too. I was like, it's kind of bad, Most of my job is sitting. I'm constantly sitting, doing, doing interviews, recording
Yeah.
podcasts, editing. Everything I do is computer based. And so I have to be sitting a lot. So then if I have a day where I'm like sitting forever, yesterday was one of those days where I think I was sitting for 5 or 6 hours straight. And I was like, I have to get up and move. And then thankfully, doing this full time, I have the liberty to be able to leave and I go for a
Yeah.
walk in nature for an hour or so. And then I come back and then it's really hard to get back into it again and to do more work. And then sometimes I just have to do it in the evenings. But
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, this was a fun episode. I don't know what we're going to do next time. I feel like there are so many series and movies and stuff to talk about, and we'll just see what happens.
Yeah. And then maybe we'll do another what if at some point.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot too. We'll have to go back to maybe the what if list, the spreadsheet that we had, and see if there's
Yeah.
anything that we can go back to on
Yeah,
there.
we'll go back to the spreadsheet. So if you've got
But
any additions, throw them at us.
yes, please do. And until next Sunday, I guess. Thanks for listening, Amy. Thanks for joining me.
My pleasure.
Have a great one. Thank you for listening to Off the Record on Tudors Dynasty and Beyond. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you're following the podcast. And if you'd like to support the work that goes into researching and creating these episodes, you can find extra content and ways to join the community through Patreon and Substack. And don't forget, you can now comment directly on episodes over on Spotify. I love reading every single one. Until next time, stay curious, and I'll see you back here for more royal drama and real history.
Meet the new iSims, the single talent acquisition platform that's fully future-ready. It works wherever and however you hire, with insights no one else offers. One solution that fits seamlessly into your existing tech stack, which is why IT and HR leaders trust it. With the best of enterprise-grade software and AI, iSims helps you identify and secure the right talent faster. iSims, powering exceptional hiring. Learn more at isims.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.